another Disney remake.
No.
Now, a few weeks ago, pictures from the new Snow White live-action remake went viral, and people had a field day with it, rightfully so, because it looks absolutely atrocious and ridiculous. But the lead actresses, Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, are making it very, very difficult for me to believe that there is anything redeeming about this project whatsoever. Now, I am sure that we have all seen this viral clip, but let's just watch again.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937. She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. And the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
Oh my god, it's a really incredible story. You're making this girl boss story based on an important father figure? Her father tells her to be brave and strong. Don't you think that there's a, something redeeming about men in this story? People love these for a reason, because of the values. You don't need to make this girl bossy to make it relevant for young women. That's totally beside the point. Maybe we don't need to reimagine this. Somebody commented and said, the Disney animation of Snow White was here to encourage the people during the Depression/war. She is patient and kind, which gives her her wish. Somebody else said Snow White is kind, hopeful, resilient. Those are traits worth representing. Nope, not anymore. Outdated. If a woman is kind, that means that she is weak. We cannot have that anymore, ladies. You must be bossy at all times. You must be bratty, smug, and single and unhappy. Then you will be relevant. Overall, since those first photos came out from set last month, people have just gotten progressively more angry about this entire project. Like, basically no.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a great and wonderful day. And it seems that, as you can see here, the Dailywire seems to be making a new Snow White, a competition for the Disney Snow White. And you love to see it because it's hilarious that the left is melting down and crying over this because it's just not what they want. Of course, we'll probably be seeing in the months to come, that's happening in early 2024, that this movie is set to be released, on how it's going to compare and compete against the woke Snow White. Let's see what happens. We have this here. The Daily Wire is making a live-action Snow White movie starring conservative YouTuber Brett Cooper. Watch the teaser. And we have this from the Daily Wire. Daily Wire announces live-action Snow White and the Evil Queen, starring YouTube sensation Brett Cooper. And we have, amid a tumultuous time for Disney, with this live-action Snow White star Rachel Zegler publicly disparaging the classic story, contributing to already plummeting favorability ratings for the once iconic company. The Daily Wire announced Monday it will make its own live adaptation of the Brothers Grimm fairy tale. The film, which is set to release in 2024, will be the first feature-length production of its newly launched kids entertainment platform, Benki, and will star the Daily Wire's own YouTube superstar host of the comment section, Brett Cooper. Just over a year ago, following tremendous backlash against leaked footage in the early 2022 that revealed companies such as advocating for more queerness and radical racial messages in kids' content, the Daily Wire announced its commitment to invest $100 million into kids' entertainment. On the 100th anniversary of Disney's founding, Daily Wire co-founder Jeremy Boring revealed in a Monday address the launch of Benki, a new kids entertainment company from the Daily Wire. Instead of telling stories about timeless truth, what the incident fairy tales were all about, Disney's new Snow White is an apology for their past and will expose children to the popular and destructive lies of the current moment, said Boring. He ended the address with a bombshell announcement about the company's plans for its own adaptation of the Brothers Grimm's fairy tale, Benki's Snow White and the Evil Queen. It's a story about a princess and a prince, about beauty and vanity, about love and its power to raise us from death to life. It's our own adaptation of an ancient fairy tale. I was raised on the original Grimm's fairy tales, so I'm thrilled that we're bringing this iconic story to life for the next generation, said Cooper. Snow White is such a beautiful character, and I'm honored to be playing her like all the best fairy tales. This is a story with timeless values like love, friendship, and kindness, and I can't wait to share them. Boring also revealed a sneak preview of the upcoming film and all that to see here. So we have this. While Disney still uses Walt's name, they have all but abandoned his legacy, said Boring in pre-order address from Lake Bled in Slovenia. Boring is on leave of absence from his role as co-CEO at the Daily Wire, while he is directing Daily Wires plus its Pendragon series in Hungary and Italy. Disney has become a completely political organization. That's an enormous loss because Disney has the greatest content library ever created in the history of man. So, yeah, and he goes on to say, as for an upstart daring to take on one of the biggest and most iconic studios in the history of the world, Boring had this to say: "It's to take 100 years to build Disney. We know we aren't what they are today, but we hope in time we might become what they were once upon a time. a literary studio with big ideas and the courage to chase them. And yes, this is a huge impact on the cultural war, and hopefully all things go well. We need to shift the culture war, and we're doing it ever so slightly and slowly as the elect are eating among themselves and destroying every fabric of what we have. Do this. I'm going to watch this very briefly here, because we're going to see on what the actual movie is, etc., etc.
Once upon a time, in time a prince would come. Once upon a time, but now that time is gone.
So this, obviously, the teaser looks way more closer to the actual Snow White that I watched as a child compared to the woke garbage Disney version of whatever the hell theirs is, which is not going to be any remotely good. Now, I'm not saying this movie is going to be better than the Rachel Zegler, or the Rachel Zegler one, or how the whole scope of this. But what I'm seeing here is that when you have something like this that is being shown here today, where, you know, there is the actual apple basket, and there is the portraying to the actual reality of what Snow White is, which is white as snow, which is a white person, you are catering to what people want the most. This has 2.9 million views, and this is something that we have to start realizing here. This is the culture war that we're fighting, and we're fighting strong. Now, of course, we have this here. We have some people saying the Dailywire Snow White movie looks as done as the Rachel Zegler version. Anyone who says otherwise, based on this cheap-looking 4K TV screensaver, is merely providing political bias. What a dumb investment. I don't think so. I think that what we're seeing here is that this is something that people may want actually to watch. The Rachel Zegler one is terrible because the Rachel Zegler one has nothing to do with the actual Snow White in particular. We want actual good representation of Snow White. The Rachel Zegler one is bad. With down to the costumes and everything else. So we have this. So it comes out the same year Disney Snow White does. That will be fun. This is from Adam Krugler and all this other stuff. So we'll try to find, this is me if you even care, and of course, clever marketing in time to release, Disney will be advertising for their Snow White Night Disaster, which will advertise surface free marketing. And this also reached top of the search bar. So so it's not looking too great here. I mean, look at this. So you have this costume here, which looks horribly, horribly made in every way. So this crazy person says, I find it funny how people say Rachel Zegler is like the worst person ever and think she's not right to play Snow White. Yet they're supporting Brett Cooper, who talks shit about anybody who isn't straight, white, and silent. Plus, Rachel is actually beautiful, unlike her. No, this is not. No, okay, I don't really care on attractiveness because this is just poking. This is just not poking at the film question. This is just hurling insults. This is terrible. What do we have here? So we have this. Now, I agree that the problem is Snow White should probably be catered to more to what her uniform is. I think that this is a bit better than this, personally, in my opinion. But they should probably keep to the actual costume at hand. Of course, we have more people. Disney is the only studio that has ever made Snow White movie. Brett Cooper is now my Snow White. So again, I found this a bit late, so I can't find some of the horrible comments here. But they are raging about this. YouTubers and black check grifters who love to subscribe false quotes to her, making her seem like some man-hating feminist. But she's never come close to saying anything like that. Here are some examples of her loving Snow White over the years since the cast. You're mistaken. Maybe I should have to show you on some of the things that she did say. Take a look at this.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So
my threshold for like bullshit with men is just, I don't have one anymore.
So your whole thing about her being some man-hating feminist, she's never come close to saying anything like that, seems to be false. She has done similar things to where it's like, you know, the Prince Charming guy is being some type of stalker, and then you have her posting things, as I've just shown you here, saying about the woman actually hating men. So you're actually incorrect about this. Of course, my son always knows how to sing, act, and be pretty, and of course it's this person here. So obviously these people are melting down and having a panic attack because they probably know that this movie is most likely going to sell and do at least decently well compared to whatever their atrocious and garbage stuff that they have. So, I think they're going to be horribly saddened, and this is going to show on how this is really going to show on how we're going to win the culture war here. Really is. Because this is going to show on exactly how we do things in terms of what we support, what we believe is true, and how the small minority is just the small minority and not the majority. Alright guys, that's the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.